Welcome back. I'm here and still alive after a very tough weekend. What's up? Taking challenges, 7+5, casual. Astrobate, good to see you. Bijak. Repunj. So, it's been a really bad weekend. But I guess everything's relative, you know. Gotta maintain a positive attitude about stuff. It could be worse, you know. Everything could be worse. I lost my tournament game. The simul didn't go that well. It was brutally tough weekend, but we're still alive, and things could have been worse. Alright, Schumacher, you're a subscriber. Repunj is sadly not a subscriber. So disappointing that Repunj is not a subscriber. Anyway, Astrobate and Schumacher. Alright, Schumacher, thanks for being a subscriber, buddy. We had a bad Sunday for support yesterday. Very little in the way of donations and whatever. But that's the way it goes. Schumacher, I lost in a classical Nimzo yesterday with black in the Hungarian Teen Championship Super League. I had a good position. Everything was fine. It seems to be the same theme every game. Like, I feel like I don't know opening theory that well yet. I never lose because of the opening. It's very interesting. If you ask me, I always think of myself as like weakest in the opening. But it's funny that I'm never actually losing because of the opening. Which variant he played? Well, the question is like which variant I played. I had no time to prepare, and I didn't know who I'm even going to play till 5 minutes before the game. Of course, it's like much more likely I would play an E4 player. I could have played 5 different Grandmasters, and I find out who I'm going to play like 5 minutes before the game. So I played the risky variation with B6. The reason why I played that is because it's not as common as the other lines, because he's an experienced Grandmaster and he knows all the main lines really well. And it actually worked because he actually played the wrong move at one point. But he made a novelty by accident. Well, I think the problem is, like, maybe my position is fine, but yet, you know, there's something to be said for playing positions where you have a lot of experience. And I think I get fine positions, but a lot of times I'm playing stuff that I've never played before, or I don't really know that deeply. And, you know, just playing a position doesn't mean you really understand it. You know, just because you know to get to a position doesn't mean you really know, you know, you really understand it necessarily. So, yeah, exactly. I mean, we were both, like, on our own, basically, after 10 moves. And, I had never played a tournament, you know, game in that line before. Just blitz games, you know, blitz and rapid games, here. I made a couple mistakes later on. It's an interesting game. Maybe I can show it on Thursday. So, you know, I'm not a 20, 25, 60 Grandmaster. These guys are playing more accurately than me. That's what's happening. I'm making some mistakes and they're not making as many mistakes. It's as simple as that. And the time problem. I've got a serious addiction to time pressure. I think it's because of increments I became addicted to time pressure. When there were no increments, I didn't have this problem. But now I'm like, it's like a crutch. I use the increments too much, you know, relying on it too much. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess now we play. You're not going to do that blunder again, are you? Don't make the same mistake twice. And I thought about bishop b5 here, but I don't think that works. You just do the obvious move, like bishop b7, everything's fine. We've definitely had this position at least once, maybe more. I assume white's better. It's inaccurate for black, I would think. Maybe not that bad though. So, castle queenside. Bishop b5 doesn't do anything, right? Bishop b5, bishop b7. Do I have a move there like knight e5, knight e5, pawn e5? Here goes my time again. I just don't see what that does. Does bishop b5 serve a purpose? Forcing you to make the natural move? I guess not. Knight b5, definitely a mistake. Bishop g3. If bishop g3, a6. So I wasted a lot of time, as usual, with nothing to show for it. But a standard position. Thank you for your generosity. We had a gift sub from Mr. Coffee yesterday. We got a raid from Grandmaster Sturt Raven and newish Grandmaster. The Rook e8 move. Now you're asking for bishop b5. Schumacher, rook e8. That looks like a decent move. Decent. Don't really have a clear plan, I feel like. Knight b5 now. Just c6. Doesn't do anything. I can just make routine moves. Try to teach myself not to do that, you know. Try to do more than make routine moves. In general. Why do these grandmasters keep playing so well? Why don't they make blunders? Six games against grandmasters in the Hungarian Team Championship. Only against one of them did I have a serious advantage. What's up, Asterbait? Thank you for your words of support. You sent me a nice message after yesterday's simul. I got a little distracted at the end, unfortunately, during my game with Ruslan. Something happened and I was distracted from the stream, and then I broke my concentration, and when I came back I blundered. It broke my concentration. Excuses, excuses. So here we go with the routine moves. No, I gain rating points for losing. Repunch, I love your questions. You ask the best questions, man. Seriously, I love your questions. You really know how to get to the heart of the matter. Mr. Coffee. No, I mean, the greatest thing about playing like highly rated grandmasters is that you don't lose that many points. So there's a positive way to. There is a positive takeaway from everything. Damn, dude. It's like playing Boris Spassky. I had a game almost identical to this against Robert Tormo where I was black a couple years ago. It was in 2019, I guess. 2018. 2019. Yeah, that was when my mom was sick and I brought her over here. It was like the winter of 2018, 2019. I was black in a hanging pawn position almost identical to this. And somehow I did something really stupid, like I don't even understand how the hell I got that position. How did I get black in a hanging pawn position? It was like a Queen's Indian, I guess. Occasionally, because I don't play the Queen's Gambit Declined, I'll occasionally get this out of some sort of Queen's Indian. But I never really play the structure that much with black. It was something like this, and I just like lost my D pawn somehow. That hurts, though, losing to players who are around, closer to your rating. If I lose to Magnus Carlsen, how much do I lose? What's the minimum you can lose in like a FIDE rated game? Like point. You have to lose something, right? 0.1. Magnus is more than 400 rating points higher than me, so it has to be the minimum, whatever the minimum, absolute minimum rating gain is. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I don't understand how that works. Seriously, are you just like randomly sacrificing your central pawn and your bishop on b7? Do you actually have a tactic? I don't know. Alexander CL, I never really tracked it. I don't think I've ever played anyone over the board when they were over 2,700. I've played people who have reached around 2,700, but like I played Kamsky, but he was in the mid 2,600s when I played him. I played Grishuk online when he was over 2,700. But I don't understand this sacrifice or whatever. Like, what? You lost your center and your bishop on b7 to slightly weaken my king side? That's pretty crazy, really, objectively. I played a lot of great players, but never when they were at their peak, really. Played Magnus, but he was just younger. Same with Aronian, Caruana. I never played any legends, world champions. 2700-ish, high 26s. Rook takes d7 doesn't work. He was 4. I don't know what he was his grandmaster already. Alright. I'm not sure of his exact age. Dude, are you sure you really? I played Hikaru, in a tournament when he was 2. You sure you should believe everything that I'm saying here? Well, you guys with the questions. Another tactic? He's got a little bit of the hey it's Miro thing going on. With the weird sort of tactics strung together out of thin air. Bizarre. I'm a little slow to calculate today. Got a lot of calculation going on there for a guy with no time who doesn't calculate. Big chess player 665. Not 666, 665. That was an interesting queen sack, yeah. So what's going on? Like you had actually equalized and then you just hung your queen. Dude is so greedy that he's like trying to win a pawn by hanging his queen. Queen e4, rook e4, bishop h4, rook takes h4, and white is a pawn up. You tricked me. What was my blunder? Well, I was running. Well, I just didn't see that knight e4 was simply a better solution. Early in the morning. So what's up with the opening? This has been played before. Just one game. Oh, Bokarov Nakamura, 2019. Jesus. Probably like the evilchesssite.com blitz game or some kind of bullshit, I hate the fact that those games, these like garbage games, are in the database. Like, I don't give a shit about some blitz game that was played online, and it doesn't belong in the Opening Explorer, to be honest. Unless it's played by like a world champion or something. You never know. Like, you'll click on the game and it'll be like, cheese.com, title Tuesday. It's like, whatever. That's not a real chess game. Alright, like, where does Nakmur play Bokharov other than on the title Tuesday? Like, seriously. Alright, big chess player, 665. We lost Ripunj. He ran out of questions. Did you lose rating points for losing that game? I must face his juvenile tormentors. Seriously. Juvenile tormentors. We got a lot of those here. They're tormenting me with questions. For the most part. Didn't even like stop to think about my move order. We have another bullet player, I guess. 832 bullet. Oh, he's got a distribution of bullet and blitz mixed. You're already playing too fast. I mean, you know, like 4b6 is a very rare move. You didn't even stop to think about it. Just transpose to another line. What is g3? My big problem is like people don't take their time to even stop and think. Then why are we playing chess? Is the question that begs to be asked. Bishop g5 and bishop takes f6. Wonder who this is. They just appeared out of nowhere. Bishop g5, like giving up your bishop. You're like allowing black to equalize, but it's like safe for white. Kind of a weird decision. Should I play knight e4? I don't know. We're just like playing a bullet game. I'm a little bit tired. It's Monday morning. It's not my strongest suit. So it's gonna probably not be the highest quality chess yet. We're gonna see here from me. But when people play super fast, it's more likely that I kind of go along for the ride, which is bad. White's like playing instantaneously moves like it's a 1 minute game. And castle's queen side is just crazy. Maybe it's not that bad, but I wouldn't do it. Takes on e6. Recommendations for black in the Sicilian e6 versus c3. Yeah, you've got you've got two recommendations. You can play d5 or knight f6. But I think if you're a French player, man, you have to play d5. It goes without saying. If you're coming from a French defense background, it would be really strange to play knight f6 instead of d5. Gospel, according to Asterbate. Funny, White suddenly like slowed down and started thinking. I played too quickly too, as a result of just being tired this morning. I haven't been able to find my concentration. This is interesting, potentially risky. One hopes one's queen is not trapped. That's what I would have figured. For some reason it didn't seem to work well. That was probably just me. But Mr. Cuffy, what trapping my queen? Wow, that's a hell of a move. Now the queen is virtually trapped. Virtual trapped. Jeez. Are you serious? Big chess player, 665. Where did this guy come from? He's kind of reckless. I'm really, really bored of it, dude, honestly. It's okay, Astrobate. The guy has no clue how irritating he can be. It's like, it has nothing to do with his comment asking me about whether or not who the highest rated player I've played is. I mean, this player just constantly with threats. Where is this coming from, dude? Just dominating the chat constantly. What is up here? He's like all over the map, dude. It's just constantly like seeking attention or something. You can't have constant attention. And of course I was talking about Repunj. Repunj always asks these like stupid questions. What I don't get about the Alexander account is like they claim to be like They claim to have been some other account, and then if they were, they would know me better than that. They act like they don't know me at all. Let's see. Rook takes f7. Rook takes f7. Rook e8. Rook g6. Pawn g6. Queen g6. I think Big Chess Player is like really bizarre. Pretty bizarre style, like totally fearless. No, Repunch, you didn't do anything. You always ask like irritating questions. It's like after someone loses a game, you don't ask them like how many rating points they lost. Did you lose rating points? You know, it's like you're trying to like troll somebody, you know? Of course I lost rating points. But I don't care, you know, I don't take it personally. I just thought it was a stupid question. No big deal. You have a history of asking stupid questions. And then the other guy, like, you know, he like involves himself in the situation. But it goes back, there's more to it than that. He sent me this message like a week ago where he's like, never gonna go to my stream again and all this bullshit, and then he's like back. It's like, dude, okay, enough drama already. Do I have bishop f5 here? Am I lost yet? He already sent me like an extensive message about how he's never gonna come to my stream again. And now he's like back on my stream like with these like complaining messages again. Dude, whatever. What was that? And especially you don't provoke me on a Monday morning. Like if you had another account and you played on my stream before, like Alexander CL claims and stuff, like if you knew even a little bit about me, you wouldn't like be like complaining and argumentative on a Monday morning. Do you know what I've been through this weekend? Damn. I think I should play g5. Anyone who watches my streams knows that like if there's one time that I'm sensitive, it's like Monday morning. That you shouldn't like ask stupid questions or provoke me. Ace's English is so good that I fail to understand what he's trying to convey. No, he uses all kinds of fancy words. Yeah, no, he's excellent. Like, he has tremendous command of the English language, but sometimes he uses a lot of words that people don't even know. No, he's very... He has a great command, great vocabulary, we should say. So Big Chess Player I'm going to assume has to be a kid. Or a young player. Very, cagey. But, like, reckless to a fault. I mean, I might have even been worse at some point. My queen nearly got trapped. I'm always trying to, like, evaluate my opposition. He's very eloquent. Pros. The pros and cons. I just need to get my other rook in the game somehow. King on e5 would be good. I feel like white could be a really strong player, but they need guidance. Again, I'm assuming it's a young player based on their time use and style of play. List. Like as in Ferenc. Who's surprised if I'm like sarcastic here? Are you sure you watched my stream before? Like seriously. God, so sorry for being sarcastic. What I don't need is like ultra sensitive viewers who are like emotionally disturbed if I'm mildly sarcastic. It's unbelievable. I don't need that baggage. I used to have a friend like that. Extremely draining. High maintenance. You know, like there's no reason to take it personally if I'm sarcastic. That's my nature. Did you drop a bishop there? No. I accidentally attacked your bishop. I think resigning would be good. Can we sack the rook? Probably. I mean, it's like, damn. White is 2,000, but he won't resign here. I mean, all over the map, dude. That's a talented 5-year-old. If you were an old person, you'd definitely resign. I resigned too early yesterday. We're beaten down and, you know. It's so strange to not resign. Although I told you guys I knew this one. I knew a player who was nearly master level who would never resign on principle. It was really weird. But at least if you're consistent about it, I don't mind. No rated challenges. The only reason it bothers me here is because we're trying to play, you know, trying to play as many challenges as possible. So for people not to resign means that other players don't get a chance to play. I don't really care one way or the other, but you're probably like taking up somebody else's chance to play. That's the only reason why I want people to resign. I mean, commanding you to resign. It's been a very, very bad weekend for me. So if I'm in a shitty mood, I have reason to be. Yesterday I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's enough to like destroy me for a week. First I had a 12-hour poker session where it was like all over the place. Then after that, I'm like exhausted from that. Had to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go play chess and lose to another Grandmaster, the third game in a row, with my third black in a row. You know, and spend the whole day in the freaking car. And then I came home and did the simul. Because I love, you know, I love streaming and I know people like the simul, so. But I've really been through the ringer this weekend. I mean, it's going to take me a couple days to get back to normal. This was John Fedorovich's recommendation. Okay, this is like the safest way for white to play, probably, against the Rogozin. Although I'm not objectively sure black has to play h6. I don't know. Thanks, Mr. Coffee. Not to complain, I mean, we didn't get a lot of support yesterday, but I wasn't soliciting it. You know, I was too tired to beg for money yesterday, honestly. So I just played the simul without, you know, doing any sort of fundraising. I'm just kind of disappointed. I mean, losing 3 games in a row. The first 2 were like drawn. I was like, I shouldn't have lost them. Except because of time pressure. And then the one yesterday, I didn't have like a clear draw or anything, but I was equal after 20 moves, for whatever it's worth. Black. But dynamic, it was a dynamic position. Not a draw. But I screwed it up. But at least I don't blame my openings. Since when does Repunj play the... Since when do you play the Rogozin? I've been playing Queen A4 almost exclusively, but... You know, that's getting a little old. That's the Tibor Karoy variation. I mean, I don't really like putting my queen on A4, to be honest. Black has like 3 moves here, no? Queen E7. Queen E7 is the main line. Don't believe anything I say. I'm never gonna tell you the real move. Because Repunj will like literally listen and play it. Wow. I didn't know you can do that. But it's certainly interesting. Wow. Maybe. It seems like if that was a good move, I would have known that. On the other hand, like it's probably a plausible and totally reasonable pawn sacrifice. at least for a blitz or rapid game. I don't really like grabbing pawns with queen takes d5 in general. Queen takes d5 contributes nothing to white's development to grab a pawn, you know, put my queen in an exposed position. That's something that I don't like to do. But there's other possibilities. I could take on c5. That could transpose to another variation, I imagine, where you played c5 earlier. Honestly, I haven't looked at this ever, seriously. I remember I beat this guy, Rafael Ferdzik. He lost in like 20 moves with black, but he didn't know what he was doing, obviously. I don't know whatever happened to him. The Polish guy that lived in New York. Alright. So what do you want to do? You want to take the pawn against repunch? Yeah. No, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to develop my pieces. We'll take the d-pawn later. Central pawn, true, Asterbay, true. True. Very true. I've made this distinction myself. I will grab central pawns much more likely than a flank pawn. That's... Oh no, that was Mr. Coffee, sorry. But good call, yeah. It is a central pawn. It's not just any pawn. Phew, man, I'm tired. I slept okay last night, but I still don't feel rested at all. All I do is complain, complain, complain. I mean, he's gonna take on d4. That's not really a problem. This is like uber conservative. Yeah, you were thinking that's the kind of stuff I would think about normally at this time of week. I'm surprised I wasn't considering knight takes d5. You can play queen takes bishop first and then do it. I feel like this is probably going to transpose to a different variation with c5. And at some point I've got to release the tension. Pretty crazy, man. Hayes Miro played an insane gambit against me yesterday and beat me in that game. I was pretty pissed about that. That was demeaning. I was angry about that. He just played like a totally unsound gambit and beat me. In an ending, too. I went into this ending against him and I was convinced I was a pawn up. You know that kind of game where you're playing and you're convinced you're up material the whole game, and then like you're sitting there and you start counting the pawns. And this happens to me a lot because I'm not that materialistic. I don't count material that carefully, you know. I was just assuming I was up a pawn, and I'm just like looking, I'm like, I thought I had a pawn up. Why am I not a pawn up? Then I blundered into a one-move tactic. Jesus, queen g6. No, you're not aggressive enough. You need to be more aggressive here. That's Ripunj. That's your problem, man. You're just not aggressive enough. I've been telling you that over and over again. The last guy I played, he's also definitely not aggressive enough. Alright, so objectively, what's happening here? Now you're really pushing the envelope. I'm kind of tempted to sack the exchange. Honestly. And I have... What do I have for it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll only get like one pawn though. More. George Moore. Queen h4 is possible. I mean, knight h4. Knight h4. Wait a second. What's up with knight h4? Seriously. It's messy. I thought I could take on d5. Well, I can, but it's kind of risky. Crazy. You're crazy, Holmes. It reminds me of my first game with Schumacher a little bit. Like, they'll do anything to damage your king's side. Giving up the white square bishop. Okay. So tired. Why am I so tired? We have 13 viewers? They're just all like losers streaming. Seriously. I'm the only good player streaming. Unbelievable. But nobody cares about that. All they care about is like bullshit, like playing bullet chess. It's unreal. We lost some viewer, hopefully. Dude, I know. It's like hopeless. Streaming is not about being instructive for these people. They're just clowns. I'm the only one who like takes chess seriously. Entertainment. What is a Buffett clown? Like Warren Buffett? Watch out. You got a trick now? No. There are some tricks here. This could get a little dangerous. He's getting all crazy with the tactics. Knight a5. Centralizing. There's always that. Didn't play it. No, I just get annoyed when I look at the list of chess streamers and look at them. It's like clown, 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 crazy guy, and clown. 4 clowns and a psychopath. Okay. G3. You can play knight a5 again. Okay, I don't understand what's happening here. There's a lot of things I don't understand. Okay. I mean, you could stream on the evil chess site. Or pay for your bot viewers, which I suspect is the case with a certain number of streamers. Most definitely. Dude, are you seriously attacking pieces constantly? Leave me alone. Knight f4. Why didn't I play knight f4? The Q, G-Souts. We don't have that command. Come on. Look at my knight. You had 94 there. That was an interesting move. Unbelievable. Another blunder. It's like catching me panicking. My God. This is what you live for. Just getting down low on time and then playing fast. It's all it's about. All you care about is that, right? That final stage of the game where both sides are low on time. It's so weird. It's all he cares about. Of course I'm not up any material. What? Queen b6? Such a bizarre move. You hung a rook. Oh my God, you hung your rook. And I didn't see it. Wow, it's just bizarre, dude. It's crazy. You had king h7. What a horrible, terrible time scramble. See, that's why I don't like bullet chess. I don't understand what people see in that. You know, like just watching grandmasters or whoever just like plunder pieces. Why is that interesting? I don't get it. Just watching people play bad chess. Why is that? Why is that like appealing to people? I don't understand why watching bad chess is appealing. I really don't understand. I don't think I'll ever understand. Yeah, these guys, they must like just have tons of bot viewers. It's crazy. How much does it cost to buy bots on Twitch? But what I'm really curious about is whether like chess.com employs Twitch bots. It'd be interesting to know that. I mean, are the streamers themselves paying for bots, or is chess.com like paying for bots? So this is not too conservative for me. This is actually I actually played the best move here. Wow. That I didn't know. I thought I was being overly conservative with e3, but it's actually White's best move according to the opening explorer. Huh. That's weird. Why? You know, I don't really play this line. I played it once, as I said before, and I didn't know it at the time. I keep thinking, like, this is the line that Dreyev lost against Carlsen. Grisha, Carlsen 1-0. Yeah, there it is. Dreyev, 2017. That seems like it was just yesterday. It's unbelievable. Like, where did the last 6 years go? Chess.com becoming rich day by day. I'm sure that they use bots on Twitch. They have their own, like, fleet of bots that they can just, like, you know, follow streamers with. Of course, Twitch doesn't want to ever acknowledge that there are bot viewers filling up the But there are some interesting things. Like sometimes when you click on like a streamer, if you click on who's in chat, there's only like 20 some people, but then there's like 400 viewers. Like what's up with that? Why is there only like 20 something people in the chat, but there's 400 viewers? Dude, everything is rigged, man. I mean, forget about it. E3 is the best move. This is how Dreyev lost? No, Dreyev took on C5. Or no. He played A3, didn't he? I think he played A3. Yeah, there's the game. That Alexei, you know, we hung out together a long time ago. He's a good guy. I haven't seen him in years, though. I was sad, though, when he lost against Carlsen in this game. He was playing in the World Cup, and no, it was the World Cup. It was the World Cup, and I was rooting for him, but he lost. But A3 is slow, you know. It seems slow. So in retrospect, I guess E3 is the best move. My instinct is good, though, huh? Bishop E2 looks too passive. So this is a problem. Now we have to take on C5. But it's like nothing for White. Carlsen versus Carlsen. Carlsen plays both sides of this line. I mean, this is a big fat draw. If Magnus played himself a match, probably every game would be this variation. Well, if we see, let's see, Ding Liren versus Ding Liren too. Well, Nepomniachtchi's not going to play d4. Not that I'm really interested in that match. Big chess player again. Don't normally play doublesies. We've got no challenges. No, I find it very offensive that there are probably a lot of like bot viewers. As a hardworking, Twitch streamer who doesn't cheat, obviously, when I see people streaming on chess.com with huge numbers of viewers that probably don't exist, I find it to be very, very offensive. I would never ever work or play for that site, no matter how much money it was. More. Computer viewer assistance, exactly. No, I mean, I'm sure that they have more viewers on that site because there's a lot of stupid people who don't know any better, but still. The numbers themselves are, well, statistics. I mean, statistically overwhelming. Kanov Caro-Kann reversed. Interesting. So that's an interesting question. Should I take or play knight b3? Well, I guess I have to play knight b3. I feel like I had this student who played this line for black. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he played this. This is recommended in some source code. Yeah, I had a student, we went over this. He showed me a game in this line with black. It's kind of dubious. It's easy to play. I don't remember where he said he picked it up. He played like bishop takes knight. Dr. Tripchance. Dude, you can't seriously do that, though. That's going too far, sir. Oh, no, now I'm going to get pissed. We don't ask questions about ELO ratings here. Especially not today. Not on a Monday morning after the Hungarian Super League yesterday. Not after my third consecutive loss with black against the Grandmaster. You're not going to ask me about my ELO rating. Well, you can ask, but I'm not going to answer. I don't want to talk about it. ELO. Yeah. What? No, ratings are a joke, man. Ratings are deflated, too. I've been deflated. Like most people. I like Wordle. Couldn't get yesterday's Wordle. I was down to my last guess, and I had like 3 letters, but I still could finish it, though, maybe. I'm not like that into Wordle, but I'll occasionally do one for fun. Yeah, that's a weird concept. How can you guess ELO when the whole rating system is bogus? That's pretty hard to do. I think in order for that to be fun, like you have to have an actually have an accurate rating system. All right. Nope. We don't talk about that here. Speaking of, well, at least we know he's not a bot. Jesus Christ. Brainwashed. You've been brainwashed. Man, I don't know what to do. That's a weird pawn sacrifice. That's crazy. I really don't know where to start here. Literally. I literally don't know what to play. I'm sorry to time him out, but we can't be talking about chess.com on my stream. You have to be kidding me. I have like 20 viewers because I don't play on that bogus site with their bot viewers. No, I have more self-worth than that. Red blood cells. Dude, everyone I've been talking to, you know, the FIDE rating system is totally broken. It doesn't affect Magnus and the people who are over 2,700, but did you guys know that like last week, like Michael Adams drew with a 1,700? That's how broken the rating system is, you know. You got a guy who's like 2,700 literally drawing with someone who's 1,000 points slower. I guess. Whatever. There was like no way that you can just suddenly make the FIDE rating system go, you know, down to 100 or whatever without this happening. They need to do something. They should move FIDE to your country. That's gonna happen. That is definitely gonna happen. I vote for Russia or Serbia. Maybe... No, North Korea. Iran, that's just too stable. Right. No, North Korea. No, seriously, are there any FIDE rated players in North Korea? Compared to North Korea. Dude. You guys have to be good compared to North Korea. Come on. Yeah, I think FIDE should just be like Rex Sinkfield's personal chess slave. The World Chess Center in St. Louis. I've dedicated my entire life to chess, practically. I've never been to St. Louis, and I never will go. And it's not the center of any chess universe in the real world. Because some billionaire says so. They're a little ahead of us, but we're moving in the same direction. Exactly. That's true. They got ahead of you on the nuclear weapons front. But don't worry about it. You're almost there. This player is this is the player who wouldn't resign earlier. Like down a whole piece. That's pretty extreme. I mean, they're pretty good to be like not resigning down a whole piece, right? Or is it just my perception? Right? This guy is awfully good. No? To be incapable of resigning like down a whole piece? It's pretty weird, man. Oof. Oof is right. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, now the inflation is everywhere. I mean, you have your own personal inflation problems, and then you got like the entire world having inflation on top of it now. So it's like Turkey. Turkey had huge economic problems before there was like freaking World War III or whatever. I mean, you guys are pretty close to Turkey. I mean, you know, right. I mean, geographically. So check out this tactic. Knight takes e2 from the 2000 guy who... He's crazy, man. That's really unbelievable. Something weird about this account. I mean, 1 minute you're like not resigning in a lost position, and now you're like tactically outplaying me using less time with a totally mental pawn sack in the opening. It's totally inconsistent. 1 minute he seems like a total beginner, the next minute he's like a genius. That's super weird, dude. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Puzzle streak 22. But he is 18, 33, and chess 960. That's not bad. 2000 in rapid. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna drop a rook. What? Seems kind of over the top, doesn't it? They're just like far too good for the rating for a player who couldn't even resign in the last game, down a piece. I mean, it's so bizarre. If it wasn't so strong and so fast simultaneously, you know, it wouldn't be that suspicious. But like, how can you be 2,000 and you're like kicking my ass on time and on the board? Yet you don't resign when you're like a full piece down. It's super suspicious. I just don't trust anyone. I mentioned it on the stream yesterday. Another Hungarian player, well, a Hungarian player got caught cheating over the board. And who was on one of my teams, he's a really weird guy. One of these guys who wouldn't let me ever play white. He only plays white every single round. He would only play white in our team. I would have to play black like every freaking round, while he and his brother would only play white pieces so they could gain rating points. It's just really gross. Yeah, phone in the bathroom, you know. But apparently, like, he had been caught on chess.com a la Hans earlier. But no one had paid attention to it, of course. Because online chess cheating isn't the same, right? Doesn't count. Very curious to see Black's statistics on this game. Only managed to draw. So far. But between the time and his strength of play, I find it pretty suspicious. Those three factors, like check, takes, Thinking about this player's time use and their play is just weird. First game was a really weird game too. Yeah, this is almost unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Totally inconsistent. What? What? Now you're gonna lose? Nothing makes sense about this guy's games. He had a draw. Now he's gonna lose. But he still doesn't resign. It just doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense there. What a game. Black was winning. Totally winning. That was really bizarre. Okay, it's not easy winning. You have to have some technique here. Calculate. He's not material, but the A pawn is very strong. I didn't know if black is winning here, to be honest. I'm not a computer. Get a shot with A3. I made 0 blunders. Really horrible. Like, what is up with that opening, man? D4 double question mark. And I sack my bishop on C6 to win the pawn, and it's not the best. Yeah, my student played this crap. It's bishop takes C3. It's a kind of crappy line for black if you don't want to like waste your time like creating a real opening repertoire. But I think it's just like slightly better for white, and you get tortured. But D4, wow, I can just take on D4. Holy shit. Knight takes D4, knight takes D4, queen A4, check. Oh my god, then you take. Wow. Like, that's crazy, man. 88% accuracy for me. What I was doing was working, but he like outplayed me on time and position. Down a pawn. Watch this stage of the game. He's totally lost. Best move. Obviously best move. Best move. Best move. Best move. Best move. Best move. And then a blunder. Or a mistake. Best move. Best move. There was like a long sequence of best moves. Yeah, I just don't trust anybody. Especially people who are like silent and they don't have an identity or talk. And do we have any more challenges? I mean, you know, when 2,500 IMs are cheating over the board, I am not going to trust anybody online for sure. Yeah, Apollon. Okay. You know, the Romans occupied Hungary. So we still have names like Apollon. Not common, but you can visit the Roman ruins here. Hungary was called Pannonia in the Roman times. Interesting history. So, yeah, it's like a Slav gambit. Semi-Slav gambit, actually. I don't know the theory here well enough. Bishop d7 is understandable, like he wants to support this, but I have the feeling that it's probably bad. Ultimately, this diagonal, if you try to play b5, you're gonna get diagonaled. I think if black wants to play b5, they have to find a way to just do it. I guess if you want to play b5, you play it right away. How would that work? You can always block my diagonal by playing knight d5. You can block my pressure on the long diagonal with knight to d5. So like b5, knight e5, knight d5. a4, I think, is a common idea. But it may not be necessary here. Outsiders, but we're all outsiders. Americans are outsiders in North America, right? I mean, the white man is outsiders, are outsiders in North America. And that's like only what, 500 years ago? We're talking. Yeah. White man stole North America from Native Americans. We were here first. We're all people at the end of the day. Barbarians. We're still barbarians. As you can see what's happening in Ukraine right now. Ultimately. Barbaric. Territorial. What is that, grimace? Talking about grimace yesterday. Very important discussions. I started with Barney, ended up talking about grimace. Mm-hmm. 2,500 years. Now you're starting to talk. Think about how modern like North America is compared to like the Romans being in Hungary. It's just mind-numbing. Yeah, someone said grimace was a taste bud. Is that, did they pulling my leg, or is that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. It's so stupid that I believed it. I mean, even like a 60s marketing scheme, that's pretty pathetic. A taste bud? Pasargades. Hamburglar. But I have a question, right? Wasn't there like a captain or something? Didn't McDonald's have a... I like how we're talking about like serious history and then I'm talking about McDonald's characters. Didn't McDonald's have like a captain? Why do I have this like... There was like a pirate captain or something? Am I making that shit up? There was like the Hamburglar. Why do I have this weird idea there was like a pirate captain? Where am I getting that from? Do you know what I'm talking about? Why do I think there was a McDonald's character who was like a pirate captain? What am I thinking of? Captain Crook. Yes, you looked it up. You had to Google it. Yes. You Googled it. But how does that fit into the McDonald's iconography? Like, where do they come up with a pirate captain? How does that even make sense? Like, it's not like, did he like invent like McFish or something? Like fillet of fish. He's responsible for inventing fillet of fish. Or like, what's the idea behind that? Paradise comes from Persian word. You know what's interesting? In Hungarian, the word for tomato is paradicsom. Hungarian is just all over the place linguistically. Influences. The character is comparable to Hamburglar, but rather than hoarding hamburgers, he tries to steal fillet of fish sandwiches. I knew it had to be something with fillet of fish. Captain Crook. Unbelievable. And if it wasn't for my chess stream, you wouldn't have known that. Think of the things you learned here. McDonald's historian. Apollon plays too passively. White has just a really overwhelming space advantage here. Card. Yeah, sword is card. Well, I don't know. You know, it's interesting. There's also the Turkish influence because the Turks invaded Hungary. And obviously Persia and Turkey are, you know, connected. Your countries like border each other. And the Arabic language, and you have linguistic connections. I don't know if it's connected to Turkish or not. But there are a lot of words that are borrowed or connected to Turkey or Turkish in Hungarian from the time when the Turks were here. Actually, it was funny. Yesterday I was thinking of you because I was walking down this part of a street where I never go, and there was like this Persian restaurant. I mean, it's common to see like it's very common to see Turkish restaurants here. Yeah, I didn't know if it could be the same in Turkish and Persian, but of course there's a chance that it's related. Captain Smollett, Treasure Island. I remember in Boston, a friend of mine who's Persian took me to a Persian restaurant. It was really good. Yeah, Black's hanging on here. No, Persian food is great. Should check out the Persian restaurant. Nothing fancy, you know, just a small place, but that's something I hadn't noticed till yesterday. It's really not that far from where I live. So card still nowadays, use it for kitchen knife. That's interesting. Yeah, we use it for sword. Well, Hungarians use it for sword. Card. And so like swordfish, you know, the fish is a card hal. No, I mean I didn't go to the Persian restaurant yet. I was thinking of checking it out. I almost went in yesterday, walking by, but didn't have time. Wow, F6 is solid. He's hanging on here. Black played like really passively here, and now he's defending. I ordered a fillet of fish. I'm just kidding. Alright, little McDonald's joke. Upland doesn't have enough space, but he's defending really well. Kebab is really good, right? I forget what I got in Boston. Some kind of meat, you know, meat kebab dish. It was really good. I have a couple friends who are Iranian, well, Persian, and they've lived in Boston for years, so they know anything about Iranian restaurants or Persian restaurants. Yeah, I mean, Indian is very popular. Of course, very different from Middle Eastern. But Lebanese is much closer. Boston has a lot of good restaurants. It's very multicultural. Mr. Coffee lives in a smaller city. He lives near King of Prussia. Actually, is it that close to King of Prussia? I thought King of Prussia was like closer to Philly. Yeah. For some reason I always get King of Prussia confused with Valley Forge. My first battle with Gingy. I first battled Gingy in Valley Forge. That's a colonial era town in Pennsylvania. Keep your relatives closer. Yeah, it's interesting, right? California, LA is very popular with like Armenians. I think the climate, you know, I mean, you come from a place where the climate is maybe similar. Um, Los Angeles has a good climate, so people from like Armenia, I guess. Iran is similar. I always felt like it was probably climate related. The climate in Baltimore is a little different. Too humid. Baltimore's brutal, man. Los Angeles is awesome. You like go running on the beach and not even sweat. Baltimore just like walking down the street. The worst climate ever. Humid in the summer. It's devastating. Okay, guys. Last call for challenges. If it wasn't for the smog, right? Oof. No rated challenges. You found your restaurant, the Persian Grill. Nice. I'm glad I started talking about food here. I'm getting hungry. Alright, last game. Mr. Coffee doesn't like to eat. Clearly. Should I have played the King's Indian yesterday? Big question. Hera Imre plays the fianchetto variation. I never thought of the King's Indian as a solid defense. But it might have been more solid than what I did yesterday. Yeah, I don't think too many Persians would like the cold Boston weather. Wow, 94 is a nice move. Threatening 96, it's a big problem. What am I going to do? Am I lost? Germantown Pike. Yeah, that's interesting. Pike. That's an old terminology too. Highwaymen. Watch out for the highwaymen on the pike. Well, it's not like, you know, Iran, it seems like, okay, it's like in the Middle East, and you think that everything's hot, but you have mountains, and there's diversity in the climate there. I think that White has something here. He shouldn't have traded. No reason to release the tension here for White. Germantown Pike. Germantown. Never been to Germantown that I can recall. Germans heavily influenced New Jersey, Pennsylvania, the area where I grew up. German immigrants, Italian immigrants. All right. We go with F4. Yeah, it's interesting about Iran. Germanville. Really? Germanville or Germantown? I like how the roads there are called Pike. The Germantown Pike. And I guess that's how the term pikers was invented. A pike is like a major road. But I mean, I feel like that's not used. Like, what's the origin of that? That's old school. Astrobate, are you a piker? What is a piker exactly? It's a derogatory. It's like a derogatory terminology for a person. He's a piker. Is a piker like a highwayman? Like a highway robber? It's like an old derogatory term that no one even knows anymore. Along timber or pike, stop traffic for toll collection. The pikes were then turned out of the way for traffic or animals to pass. Hence the term turnpike. Animals had to pay a tax. That's an old school methodology. You want your cow to go down the road, you gotta pay a road tax. Well, what is a piker? That's what I want to know. Urban Dictionary. I'm afraid the Urban Dictionary might be too modern for this. Now White's gonna lose a piece. Cars, $5. Cows, $3. Yeah, we had a lot of pikes where I grew up. New Jersey Turnpike. The White Horse Pike, the Black Horse Pike, Gloucester Pike. But you don't hear that in other states. You know, it's interesting. I don't remember. Maybe, but not as commonly. Pennsylvania Turnpike. No open G file, please. Oh, you want an open G file. He really wants an open G file. Alrighty. If you insist. I think White should make a run for it. Yep. That's a good move. That's a smart move. But it's too late. Too late to get away. You're not going anywhere, buddy. Garden State Parkway. That's weird. It makes it sound like you're parking there. Because it's like more green, it's a parkway. Man, I hate driving, period. I just want to go on record. Alright. Thank you for the games, guys. I gotta go. It was nice playing with you. Nice knowing you all. We're seeing you tomorrow night. We're going to host a tournament. Tomorrow night, slow. Actually, I think we're due for Fast Rapid. Fast Rapid tomorrow night tournament. Fast Ponda Rapid. Thanks everybody for tuning in, Mr. Coffee. Thanks for your support, sir. Making it a great Monday morning. Getting on the board with a 500-bit donation, Mr. Coffee. Thanks to everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. 6:30 CET. Tournament time. Bye-bye.